What's going on, guys? Mark Johnson here, back again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 things that you need to know before moving to Orlando. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. First thing you need to know before moving to Orlando, well, traffic is terrible. And I mean terrible. Man, you spend so much time every day just sitting in traffic. Weekdays, weekends, 8 a.m., noon, lunchtime, rush hour, 5 o'clock, doesn't matter. Every day, all day is traffic. Doesn't matter when or where you are. So basically what I'm saying is if your GPS tells you that it's 3 miles away from you, that 3 miles is going to turn into about 30 minutes. And that's just the way it is. There's constantly construction going on and road work being done. I mean, thankfully we have really nice roads here. That's great. It's part of, the benefits of the lottery and everything. But I mean, there's constant construction going on. Orlando's, constantly moving up in the world, and there's, all this stuff being built. It's half the reason you want to move here is there's so much stuff to do. But the downside to that you need to know about before you get here is the traffic. You're going to be sitting in traffic a lot. So just learn to be patient, learn to deal with people who have no idea where they're going, because the tourists who come here and, are just visiting for a week, hopefully you're moving here to become a local and everything. But, even as a new person, you're not going to know where to go. So you're going to be dealing with people trying to get over 4 lanes of traffic and, getting off at exits. They don't even know where they're going. So really, traffic is just a huge one that you need to know about before you get here. So just be prepared. The second thing that you need to know before you move to Orlando, the weather. Man, let me tell you, we have some awesome weather down here. It's sunshine all the time. I shouldn't say all the time because, well, let me tell you, right now we're currently in our rainy season. Every day, randomly, like 4 o'clock for 15 minutes, for no reason whatsoever, it rains. And that happens for like 2 months out of the year, I want to say. It becomes a rainy season. And so for 15 minutes randomly in the afternoon, it rains and it gets really hot and really muggy, which brings me to the next point, which is humidity. Humidity down here is no joke. I mean, you would think, me being from Alabama, that I'd be really cool with humidity and be like, it's no joke. Florida, Orlando, whatever you want to call it, humidity is ridiculous. So if you have frizzy hair, just be on the lookout now, because your hair is never going to be the same after living here. But yeah, so humidity brings us into heat. The heat down here, it's sunshine year round. I mean, there are not really any seasons here, so that makes sense, right? I mean, you want to move down to Florida and be around the sunshine, feel like you're on vacation all the time, but I got to tell you, the heat ain't fun all the time. It's not. Sometimes you're just like, can I get like 3 hours of snow or something around here? Because I'm just tired of being hot. But hey, to each their own, really. So yeah, you have humidity, the heat, you have these random rainstorms that happen about 15 minutes because there's the rainy season. Oh, and then there's this other thing called hurricanes, apparently. And yeah, those happen like once or twice a year, really just depending on what old Mother Nature wants to do about stuff. So I think right now there are about 5 tropical depressions or so forming out in the middle of the ocean. I don't know. I don't really keep up with it too well. But let me just say that about once a year you find yourself pushing everything to the middle of your room and going, well, hope nothing bad happens today. Or you could be like everyone else and leave the town or the state, depending on if there's an evacuation in effect or not. Or your mom calls you and says, hey, I'd really like you to come home. And I'm like, man, that's a really long drive. I don't want to drive home. So, hurricanes are a thing too. So the weather, that's number 2. The third thing that you need to know before moving down here is that when you move down here, if you bring your car, you have 10 days. That's it. 10 days to switch everything over on your car, or else you're in trouble. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little something right here. I didn't do that. And then I got pulled over one time and he was like, how long have you lived here? And I was like, I don't know, man, a little while. And he's like, well, you realize that you're supposed to get everything switched over in 10 days, right? And I was like, no, I didn't know that, actually. Thank you for the information. So now you get to know that you have 10 days to switch everything over for your car here, or else you're in trouble and it's going to cost you money. But here's the other side to that. Getting everything switched over here, because I had a truck, I bought a car here, and to get my tag transferred over from Alabama to here cost me, I think it was an additional $400 on my purchase. And then you want to do county tax, like sales tax, this tax, that tax. It was a bunch of taxes. And then of course the tag fee, like I said, getting everything transferred over was like $400 extra. So my car cost me a little bit more than I was expecting, honestly. So if you're coming down here and you're coming down here with your car and you need to get a new tag, obviously you're going to need to get a new tag because you're staying. Just be prepared for that fee, because it's not fun. And well, just don't get pulled over either, because that's not fun either. All right, guys, so number 4, the fourth thing that you need to know before moving down here is you need to know the cost of living. I say that because I already have a video made right there. It's going to be up there for you. Just go ahead and watch that, and you're going to be able to know exactly what the cost of living is like here in Florida. Well, Orlando specifically. And I say that because there are things like home taxes. When you buy a home here, we don't have state tax. So whenever you're buying a home, it's going to be taxed more heavily because the state has to make up that money somewhere. And well, that's one of the places they like to do it, is in home sales. And as far as other things go, you need to know just how far your dollar is going to stretch down here, because you have people moving from the Midwest and they're really shocked because they could get so much home and so much stuff back in the Midwest, and they come down here and they're not exactly too thrilled with what they can get for their dollar. Or you could be from somewhere else that's much more expensive and you could be really, really happy that you moved to Orlando because you're getting so much for such a great price. It really depends on where you're coming from, what your budget is, what your salary is like, what you do for a living. It all depends. So, like I said, go ahead and watch that video up there, and so you can figure out the cost of living down here so you're not shocked when you see what it's like. All right, so the fifth thing that I think you need to know before you move here to Orlando is just that there's really a lot more to do here than theme parks. I know that's why everyone likes to move down here, is to visit Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and really have that feeling like they're on vacation all the time. But really, there's just so much more to do. You have farmers markets, you have wine walks downtown, you have Wall Street, which is home to like our bars and clubs and, you know, all the wonderful nightlife Orlando has to offer. Lake Eola downtown is just a great place to like walk and hang out. You also have places like the Amway Center, which is home to the Orlando Solar Bears, the Orlando Magic. There's a ton of sporting events that happen. Then you have the college here, which is UCF, has a great campus. It's a really nice area. You also have game day there, which is an awesome atmosphere as well. Not to mention that it's a common misconception that like we're not close to the beach, but Orlando actually has 2 beaches that I think are really, really close. And to me, what I mean close is like within an hour, because where I grew up, the closest beach was about 4 hours away. So you have Cocoa Beach and you have New Smyrna Beach, and they're relatively like 45 minutes to an hour away. And for me, that's another option that you have. But there's also, you know, places that are nearby like Bach Tower Gardens, which is a great place to go hike and, you know, go see some nature. Or you have places like Gatorland, which is kind of like a theme park, but it's also just, you know, an awesome place to go. So there's so much more to do here than theme parks. And I know like it's a ton of fun to go to theme parks every day, but if you're moving down here and you really want to get immersed in Orlando's culture, which Orlando has such an amazing, diverse, wonderful culture, then really get to know all the different parts of Orlando, because you don't have to be in Orlando to experience Orlando. There's different little pockets of places here and there, and it's really awesome to just experience each one of them. You also have like little historic downtown areas and places all over, you know, and if you just get out there and you explore for yourself, you're gonna find, like I said, that there's so much more to do here than just theme parks, and you'll really, really enjoy yourself if you just explore. All right, guys, so that's it for us today. It's quick, simple. It's just 5 things that you need to know before moving down here to Orlando. It'll save you a little bit of time, save you a little bit of a headache. You won't have to find out on your own. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. That way you're subscribed when I upload my new videos. Hit the notification bell. That way when I do drop new videos, you're the first to know, which I do drop videos every single week. So you have that to look forward to. And go ahead and hit that like button down there. That way we can circulate this to as many people as possible so they're informed just like you are. So guys, that's it for today. And if you want to see more, stay tuned until next week. I'm out of here.